Okay.
Apologise.
Hi everyone, sorry. We had some issues getting online then. We tried to connect and go live and it did just said error and wouldn't work. Never works first time for us ever, whether it's on here or elsewhere. It's just my luck with technology, I think. So hi everyone, thank you for joining us in tonight's YouTube live. So this is my second one. We did one last week. Was it last week, Richard?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, the reason for the live tonight is that I didn't get the video done in time that I wanted to put on for you. So I have been busy making Bowser's mini castle from the Mario movie, which I haven't had a chance to see yet. I was waiting till I finished the Mario Castle cake. Then I was going to treat myself to go see the movie. And of course, I haven't quite finished the cake because it's taken me way longer and I haven't been just getting on with it like I should have been. So apologies, guys. Hopefully that video will be ready for next week or at some point next week for you all. And I can show you some sneak peeks of it as well tonight. But I thought I still need to make like the little cactus plants and a few bits and pieces, maybe the bonsai tree and stuff to go in his castle. So I thought, do you know what? I might as well come online, do it live. And then you guys can watch me making something tonight. But also it forces me to actually get on and make it. Otherwise, I'd probably go out, walk the dog, come back, sort out food and be like, oh, I can't be bothered. So this way it makes me do it. So we're going to use modelling pastes, I think, tonight. Apologies, everything is really hard. I didn't have a chance to kind of prep before I came online. Although those of you that watch me regularly will know I'm not very organised anyway. So even if I did have time to prep, I probably would waste that time. But also, apologies, I can't see your comments. However, I think Richard has got them up. So if you need to ask me anything at any point.
So I just want to check that everybody can hear us. Fingers crossed they can.
Okay, can everybody hear us okay? Let me know in the comments if you can hear or not. I am just going to microwave some paste while I'm waiting to hear back from people. Oh, knife, 1 second. I left my knife just over here, I think. Oh, there we go.
Well, you can do. You can shape here while we're waiting. You finished dusting Bowser, didn't you?
I did finish dusting Bowser. Yeah, I don't know. Did any of you guys catch the live we did last week?
Don't break his spike.
I know, I broke a spike off him when I was picking him up before. He's not that brilliant from the side view, is he? But from the front, I think he's okay. I'm not very good at working out where the camera is for which way. Is that right?
Yeah.
More in the centre now?
That's good.
So, yeah. So we made him.
And you finished dusting.
I don't think he's too bad for the amount of time it took to do in the live, because usually I would spend like way longer than that making a figure like this. Yeah, we dusted him after the live just because I didn't want to keep you guys too long. And then the idea is that we'll put him on the cake. I'll be honest, he's turned out much bigger than I was planning, so he's probably a little bit big for the cake, but I might have to cut off his tail to squeeze him on the cake, on his castle cake. We'll see. When it's all done, I'll put him on and we'll see if he fits.
Yeah, everybody can hear you.
Brilliant. That's good. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to do some cactuses and a bonsai tree, because he cuts his bonsai tree, doesn't he? And I've only got the advert to go off because the movie trailer, just like I say, I haven't had a chance to go see the movie yet. I really do want to.
Which one are you doing first, bonsai or cactus?
Do I do the bonsai or do I do the cactus? I don't know. Either way, I need to warm up some paste, I think. I think maybe I will do the cactus first. Maybe that would be easier. I haven't got the images of them in front of me. I did actually have, like, hang on, is that some? I can see some tiny ones on a print off that I did. But it's so tiny. I bought a Bowser Castle toy because I thought it would help me. It came with a little mini bonsai. But I feel like this one doesn't look the same as the one in the film. Maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, so I've got lots of rubbish everywhere in front of me. Like, I've got so much stuff. I'm going to be using modelling paste. Richard, what camera are we on, by the way?
You are on. Do you want to go on top down?
Yes, please.
There you go.
I'm going to be using modelling paste that's pre-coloured. Now, for these kinds of things, it is easier to use a modelling paste than it is like a sugar paste or fondant. Again, apologies. I don't know where everybody is watching from. I tend to say fondant, but actually in the UK, it's usually known as ready-to-roll icing or sugar paste, but they're the ones that we're not using because they're a little bit soft sometimes for making figures. You can use them. You can add CMC or Tylose to them, but I just find it way easier with a modelling paste. I tend to use this particular brand, but you can use whichever one you want. You can even make your own gum paste, which is pretty much modelling paste. Each brand has a slightly different recipe, so you might find it's a tiny bit different depending on which one you're using. It usually starts pretty hard. I have to microwave it. I do have a discount code for their website as well. I think that's for if you're in the UK and the US, you can use it. I'll get Richard to put it in the little comments bit. It's basically Happy Cakers 10 that you put in on their website, and it gives you 10% off. Okay, so I'm gonna. You need warm hands to knead this, or a bit of a microwave. So I'm gonna stick it in the microwave. Anybody that watched last week will know I put it in the microwave, forgot about it for a little bit too long, and then burnt my hands on the molten hot sugar. So I need to pay attention to how long it's in there for. 1 second, guys, I will just pop it in the microwave. Richard, did you not put the microwave in?
I plugged your laptop in so you can put that one. There you go.
There we go, it's on now. Okay. So hi everyone, welcome wherever you're joining us from. In fact, let us know whereabouts you are while you're watching this. As in what country?
Got Jules from Cambridge.
Hi Jules.
We have Jane Hollyoak.
Hey Jane.
We have Byron.
Hi Byron.
We have Wanda Cruz. I'm guessing he's from the States because he's like a little Connecticut. There you go.
I've done it again. I've overheated it. That's because I was listening to you instead of concentrating.
We've got Kathy as well. So yeah, we've got. Well,
hey everyone.
To there. Oh,
you can see I've overheated it because can you see it's completely melted?
Kathy's from New Zealand. Good morning. There you go.
Good morning.
I think we've got other people.
I might get out some more green in case I might have ruined that one just because usually if you overheat it, I don't want to just touch it because it'd be really hot. You can knead it together, but if I've overheated it to the point where it's gone molten, sometimes it kind of crystallizes when you put it back together. Whereas I did have another pack of green somewhere, Richard. Have you seen my other pack of green? Okay.
Well, you have really burned
that. Didn't I? After saying I was going to pay attention, it turns out I can't even say hi to people and microwave at the same time because I pay no attention to what I'm doing.
We've got all over the world. We've got Nikki from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We've got
hi.
Chris Speck 355318 from Jamaica.
I'm teaching in Canada later this year.
You are. We've got TAC 1013 from the US and Maryland. So yeah, got all over.
Okay, right, I'm going a bit steadier with this next piece. When you microwave it, it should just be soft, but not like that anyway. Okay, so tonight as well, I apologise in advance. The dog is here with us. Sometimes when I do lives, I try and get him over to my parents for them to look after him. But they had him last night because we did a live last night for the subscription service group that we have. So I didn't like to ask them again tonight. So sometimes he either will bark in the background or snore really loudly. So I apologise if he does make a big noise. I'm just going to knead this one just to see. I'm just checking it's not too hot.
Sheena's joined us.
Hey, Sheena.
Got Leanne from Newcastle.
Hey, Leanne.
Melanie from Ontario, Canada.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, I didn't even know. You can tell how new we are with YouTube Lives, but we've been sent a gift.
I didn't even know you could do that on.
Thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you, Jane.
I didn't know. Well, like I said,
I
think this is only the third time we've done it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the first time we did it was probably 3 years ago.
I was going to say it was quite a few years ago the first time. I can't even remember. Was it just a Q&A we did the first time we came on? Actually, that does look like it might come back around, that one. It's difficult to tell because while it's still warm, it's quite pliable. This one feels nicer though. And sometimes they when it dry. Maybe I could mix them together and maybe that will ruin it. I don't know. I'll mix a little bit of it in there. You should, with your modelling paste, keep it in a bag, keep it airtight. Often I just do that and then I haven't really... Oh wait, is it stopped?
I don't know, just bear with us a second, we might...
I'll just...
What is today?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think he's back on again.
Are we back on?
I'm hoping. So, we seem to be having a few broadcast issues tonight.
Is it our internet? Is that what it is, do you think?
I don't know, just going to check on the device.
Richard's going to just check that we're all set up. Look, I printed myself off and I've got powder colour all over it. I actually printed this off so that I could use for making the castle cake from. And that's when I noticed it has it's not a very clear picture. It has all bits and pieces up here. I'm not going to make everything. I thought we'll make a few cactus plants. Maybe mop bucket or broom and bucket. Probably not deck chair and table because that's quite hard to do in one go. Like I'd have to make pieces that have to all kind of set separately. So I've still got to do the little lights as well to go on it. Although I've not decided yet if mine will light up or not. Okay, let's take a cactus.
Yeah, it looks like we have back on.
So we'll go with this green. Size-wise, I don't know if it's going to be exactly in proportion on what it should be for there, but, it'll be fine. I think what I'm going to do, so we'll keep it fairly simple shape-wise at first. So we'll roll it out. I don't know, am I a bit far away from the camera, Richard? Do I think it needs bringing it a little bit closer this way, just in case? Only because you know what I'm like. Actually, I feel like this might be too big. Okay, we'll roll it a little bit more.
So you're going to come a bit close to you?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Is that looking alright on the screen?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Slightly bigger at the top than the bottom. So I think if I want it about this height, I'm going to leave it a little bit longer because what I'm going to do, I'm actually going a bit thinner. What I'm going to do is maybe build the pot around this. Maybe, or maybe we'll just stick a stick inside. I can't decide. Right, we'll cut it to that length, so longer than I need at first. And then we can always amend it later if we need to. Okay, now I want a tool, a Dresden tool. Where's my Dresden tool gone? Ah, there we go. So we need to change the shape of it. So it dips in. The only thing is I don't think I'm going to be able to make little spikes for mine. But we're going to press in with the rounded end of the Dresden. Now, the only thing is because I've microwaved it, it is now soft, which is nice to work with. However, when I press in at one side, wherever I've got hold of it, I tend to squash it. Maybe I use the balling tool. It might be better size-wise. But yeah, I'll get like a nice patterning on one side. And then I guarantee I'll squash it at the other side as I'm working on it. Actually a bit easier with the ball end tool, but can you see how soft it is? It's kind of losing its shape a little bit. And you would really need to do this all the way around. Yeah, every time I pick it up, look, I lose a bit of shape on the other side. I am sorry if you can all hear the noise of the dog eating his dog chew. Okay. That's what happens when you have to work from home now. We did used to have a studio, how long ago was it?
A couple of years ago now.
Is it that long ago that we got rid of the studio?
Yeah.
I liked having a studio. I mean, sometimes it's easy being at home, but I create a huge amount of mess. So that's definitely one downside of working from home. Okay, so can you see by pushing it in, it's kind of left these bits that stick out. If I want to pull them out more, I could try and use like my fingertips to grab them, or I could just go in even more in between. I'm kind of rolling it while I'm doing it a little bit as well. I reckon my cactus probably isn't going to get lots of spikes on it. Okay, so that's one done. I do need it to firm up a little bit. We also can add some colour to it, which obviously will make it look a little bit nicer as well. I'm wondering if I can get it, to come to like little pointy bits. So if I can grab it, it's still very soft. Can you see? And then get it to come to little bits like that, so it changes the shape ever so slightly. Is everyone all right, Richard? Does anyone have any questions?
Jane says, would fishing line work for spikes?
Yeah, I guess so. It's really hard, isn't it, to find anything that's edible. Do you know, I was thinking that we could have maybe used like isomalt, but usually it goes to like like really thin pieces when you pour your isomalt and kind of you finish with it and it starts kind of setting. It does these really fine stringy bits, almost like hair-like. Usually I end up with them by accident though, and I was thinking that would be good to do that, but I guarantee that if I was purposefully trying to do them, it wouldn't happen. But then that way, you see, if it was isomalt, it would still be edible. Again, it depends on if you bothered about it all being edible or not. Obviously, if it's not all edible, you just need to make sure you remove those decorations. Can you see that's now starting to kind of come out a little bit? See if we can do it on these bits here. Only thing is, it's boring for you guys, isn't it, watching me do the same technique or the same thing? I'm wondering if I can kind of press it in instead of pulling it out. If that's easier to press sections in more. It looks better where I've pinched it like that, but am I not in shot, Richard?
No.
Is it not just that my hands are getting in the way of what I'm doing?
No, just bring the camera to you. That's fine.
Right, okay. I'm not going to bring up too many of those, but hopefully you can kind of see what we're trying to do with it. Okay. I might put like something like a cocktail stick in the middle if it feels like it's not going to set, or we need to kind of push it firm into like a base, but I'm hoping that it is going to set, okay? Okay, I'm going to go back to my picture. I reckon we need at least another little 2 bits for it.
Yeah, I think the most common ones have got like little 3.
But what I might do is stick them on soft and work on like the bowl bit maybe that is going to go in next. So what I'm thinking is, this is modelling chocolate that I've got. So again, it's a little bit different to modelling paste. And you can make your own modelling chocolate as well. I use this one because it's a nice one to use. But you can make it yourself. It is, I mean, this one's probably got more ingredients in than if you make it yourself. But if you make it yourself, it's usually just chocolate and like glucose syrup or corn syrup melted together. And then it makes your chocolate pliable. Although, as you can see, it still feels hard. I will have to put it in the microwave, I think, to soften it. It's soft enough that I can get my knife through it. Just about.
Byron's asked, how do you keep your cake toppers accurate to the actual characters from various animations?
They're not always accurate. Usually, like if I am trying to make them as close as I can to it, I'll spend a lot longer working on them. But also I will print myself something off to the size that I want to make it, and then I'll try and hold what I'm making against the image all the time so that I can see if am I making things the right shape, the right size. Although, I had a picture of Bowser, didn't I, last week, and he still ended up completely different.
You also had a model of Bowser?
I did, yeah. Yeah, but the model of him and the picture were both different to each other.
Yeah.
I'm just heating up the modelling chocolate. I do have to be a bit more careful with the modelling chocolate because that will melt easier than the modelling paste.
Caroline says your book is fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Caroline.
Sheena she's from California. There you go. Hello, Sheena.
Oh, hi, Sheena. Yeah, I'm glad you liked the book. Oh, I did actually need to mention, sorry, I'm just interrupting in the middle. Thank you, everybody that has got my book, by the way. It is just like on making figures rather than like loads of different things. Like, so we don't make cakes themselves in it, just for anybody that's wondering. But I forgot to tell you all, Donald what's Donald's cake business? Richard's going to look it up because we can ship to the US, but I forgot to tell everybody. I think I might have mentioned it the other day, but probably not on here. Anybody that was interested in getting one in the US, I think you can get it on Amazon. We can post it, but our friend Donald Let
me get you his website.
Richard's going to find his website. He's going to be selling them, so I'm going to be sending him quite a few soon. In fact, I think he was taking pre-orders because obviously the weight limit, he's only going to be able to buy so many. But I think he just wants to know in advance of me posting them, obviously, if anybody else wants one. So you'll be able to get one from Donald very soon. And Richard will find out where that is. I do know Donald's company name. That's so bad that I've known.
CBC Designs.
CBC Designs,
yes.
Yeah. I'll get Richard to put a link.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'll put it in around.
Okay, so can you see this is like much softer? You can see with the modelling chocolate, and sometimes it's the same actually with modelling paste, is that like the warmer it gets, kind of the oils and things in it will start to melt and it will look shinier. The shine doesn't usually stay because sometimes people will say to me, oh, look at that, you've got it really nice and shiny. I want my figure to look shiny. And I have to say, yeah, but when it's set, like tomorrow, it's not going to be shiny like that. It will have kind of dulled down again, unfortunately, as those oils in it start to set again. Okay, so how big do we want our plant pot? What I'm thinking is I'm going to do brown so it looks like the soil. And then what I was thinking was we could do like a plant pot shape, or it could be like, I think these ones might be in round pots. Maybe. I want it to be big enough that it holds up the weight of the cactus, and I want to put like a plant pot on it as well. So if I try and roll a circle, you can see it's soft, it doesn't want to. I've probably heated it maybe a little bit too much. Modelling chocolate is a little bit harder to use if you've got hot hands. I'll be honest, my hands are not usually warm. They sometimes get a bit warm as I'm doing lives and things, but other than that, they're not usually warm. I can skewer this into here with like a stick, or what I was thinking of doing was maybe, hang on, pushing a hole in the middle with like a straw. I did have a straw. Hang on. Where's my straw gone?
We got some good questions tonight.
You what, sorry?
You got some good questions tonight.
Go on then.
I think I know the answer to this one already.
Push this into here.
Have you ever had a cake you considered to be a total disaster? And if so, what happened? And that's from Sarah.
Yes. Which one are you thinking of?
I don't know. I think one of the early wedding cakes we did that.
Oh, I don't even know. I want to talk about that. It upsets me so much. I've just put a hole in there. But yeah, I have had ones that have melted on people. On a really hot day. Obviously, like we try and... this needs to set a bit harder. I'm just going to wiggle that hole a little bit bigger. We try and deliver, we used to try and deliver people's wedding cakes whenever we could. Sometimes the modelling chocolate can crack. But obviously, to save a bit of money, some people don't always want you to deliver them. They'd prefer to collect them themselves. It's always safer if we're delivering, because we're used to sort of taking them, and it was very hot weather, and a young couple came for their cake, and later in the day they had messaged me to say it had melted and collapsed in the car, and I think they had quite an old little car. First of all, they had it on the knee in the front seat, which you never do with a wedding cake, but also, there we go, can you see it in there? Then I hopefully don't need to put a stick in. The one where they had just melted all the buttercream on it, and it had like a massive handprint in it, and it was a bit of a nightmare. I had to sort of re-ice a lot of polystyrene dummies because it was too late in the day to remake them like a whole new cake. But yeah, I want that. Yeah, I think I actually cried over that one.
Yeah. After that
it was very upsetting.
We pretty much let
the bride's mum, let me have it big style.
We wrote then season about collections and all sorts. We were very early on in making cakes, didn't we? Yeah. We learnt your lessons. And
if I didn't have more wedding cake orders for the rest of like the year and then following year, I would have quit doing it there. And then I was so upset about it, really upset.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we started making people sign T's and C's. So if they were collecting themselves, they were responsible for things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, what am I looking for? Ooh, what colour should we have for the pot? Should it be a red pot, or is it like a...
Is that the soil?
Yeah, that's the soil. That's my soil.
That's a lot of soil.
So I've got some orange. Well, yeah, and then it's going to have a little pot that goes around. Do you not like it that size?
Okay.
It might be a bit big. I don't know. I should probably have tested it against the castle, shouldn't I? Could you... I'm going to make some more pieces from my cactus. I won't have given you the packet. So could you soften that? And then what I'm going to get you to do, Richard, is add a bit of brown into that, or even a bit of red. I'm not sure yet. Depends what colour pot we decide to go for. But I want a couple more bits kind of to stick out from my cactus. So the main big one, we've stuck deep into here.
All this up there?
Yeah, well, it's just going to be easier if you do it all than trying to cut it off, because it's quite hard. Is that one? I've had that one open a long time. Okay, fine. Richard's broken it in half straight away after me saying it's too hard. Okay, so we'll try and go for a slightly smaller piece. And look, this is where that's in the way of what I'm doing. So we'll roll it. I want it to kind of come out from the side of that one, but I don't want it to come out too far. I might even go a little bit smaller. Okay. It's a little bit smaller, I think. And in fact, you know what, we'll use that piece, we'll cut it like that, and then we can have two bits that are going to go on the sides of it, but I'll just do a bit more work to them. I am sorry about the dog, guys. gets to sometimes a certain time on the evening and he becomes a little bit needy. It's because, bless him, we've been sat working all day, and then when we're working in the evening as well, he gets a bit upset because he wants to play.
TAC 1013 says, yes, transporting a cake in the front seat is a no.
Yeah, but customers do not
they
believe
hate it
you, do
when
they?
customers come to pick them up to put in their cakes. It gives their anxiety. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yep.
And Richard used to go deliver most of the wedding cakes, didn't you, Richard?
Yeah.
And he started delivering them without me because apparently I caused too much stress by being there. He was like, yeah, it's just easier if you're not there, Zoe. Although he did once tell me that he managed to knock a bride and groom's head off that I'd made when he put the wedding cake in the car, because he used to transport them fully stacked, or in most cases, most of mine were sort of fully stacked. I don't know if everybody else does the same with theirs, or whether you prefer to take them in tiers and stack them there. I'm just doing the same again on this one, or trying to. But I don't like the shape of this one. Yeah, I'd fully stacked it and it was quite tall, and it must have only just fit in the car. And Richard didn't tell me that as he put it in the car, he knocked, like there was a bride and groom topper on the top that I'd made, and he knocked their heads off. And didn't tell me. He was like, yeah, but I knew you'd stress.
I fixed it.
Yeah, apparently he just stuck them back on. I would have been so stressed if I'd have been there and seen that. Okay. I'm not going to put all the little things on it. Thank you. Okay, so Richard's softened me that. We're not going to need quite as much as that. I'll go for a little bit less. And I'm thinking, I do actually quite like it, that nice bright orange colour, actually. But I was going to just put a little bit of brown in, to make it kind of a bit more terracotta colour. I'm going to pass that back to Richard to mix together for me. Okay, this
Jane
one
asks, how is Bruce's eye? If anybody that doesn't know...
It's on the mend.
If anybody that doesn't know, our little dog Bruce... Yeah, had to have an eye operation, didn't he? 5 weeks ago?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just as I was going to the Philippines, wasn't it, for work?
Yeah, so he had to have a skin graft on his eye. And he's been had a cone of shame on for about 6 weeks. But yeah, he's on the mend now, thankfully.
He doesn't have his cone on anymore. His eye's still a bit white looking, rather than being the colour of his pupil and stuff. But he's definitely much better than he was.
Yeah, he's back to his. He's getting back to himself.
Yeah, he started humping his bed again. That's when we know he's back to his normal self. Okay. So I'm just trying to get a bit of shape in them. I'm not going to try and pinch them all to a perfect shape, because I think, again, it's the kind of thing, where you spend ages and ages on it. So I'm trying to bend them so that they're going to kind of attach onto this big bit here.
Do you want to get a side camera on for you?
Yeah, you can do if you want. I'm just going to kind of bend that around there and kind of trim a bit off, I think. Okay. I mean, this hasn't fully firmed up yet. Ideally, you should let it firm a bit longer. And then we'll take a little bit of water, and wherever we want to add the side bits, I'm going to just add that water. I am sorry about the noise of the dog crying. I'm going to try and push that on there. I want to kind of bend that one as well. They'll have to be fairly tight to each other, otherwise they're going to need a lot more kind of, internal support and stuff to hold them up. I mean, I could have actually just stuck these together, left them to dry flat, and then pushed them in this later. And maybe I should have just done that, so that they kind of stick together. What do you reckon? Shall I pull it out of there and then... Yeah, let's do it that way, because that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Eventually, if you ignore the dog, he gets bored and goes to bed.
Or he gets closer and closer. He's now underneath.
I am sorry, guys. Okay. I think maybe I'll stick that one there so that instead of being completely opposite each other, it's kind of on there.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
The only thing is, so how I said when I've microwaved it, all the oils and stuff kind of come out of it a bit because I over microwaved it and made it a bit warm. So I use water to just stick the pieces together, which is fine, it does work. But because the oils have kind of now come out and sat on the surface, it almost kind of waterproofs my paste a little bit, making it a little bit harder to get things to stick together So I kind of have to put a little bit more water on it and, you know, just really make sure it's had time to kind of go tacky.
Terracotta colour.
I don't know. Do you think it actually looked nice with the bright orange?
I like the dull one.
Do you?
No, that's my contribution.
That's fine. So as long as I can still slot that into there, which, I mean, it does need longer to dry, really.
Just switch the camera.
Can you see through all the stuff I've got everywhere? Yeah. Then what I was going to do, you see, is wrap this like as if it's a pot, but see if I can take that out. See if we can leave that there for the moment. Hopefully, as long as that hole is kind of big enough, it'll just slot nicely into it. But then you see what I was going to do is I was going to kind of wrap this. Which angle are you on, Richard?
Top down at the moment.
Brilliant, that's fine.
You're always on the right hand side of this.
Top down is where... Okay. I know, but you know I forget that. Oh, just watch that you've not got bits of brown modelling chocolate all over your work surface as well. So we'll roll this out. It wants to be a fairly hefty kind of size base, otherwise, because it needs to be weighty. If it's not, if I made this really small and then I made the cactus really tall, the height of the cactus would kind of pull it over and it'd want to fall. So that's why we need a decent sized base that's fairly weighty. Okay, I probably don't need it to be as thick as that, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. Okay, so let's cut a straight edge. In fact, I maybe should have cut 2 straight edges. I'm just going to work out how high up I want it to come, so maybe...
This is not your first cactus you've ever made, is it?
No, I think I've probably made a few for... what do you call him from Cars? What's he called in Cars? Lightning McQueen.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because when I've made Lightning McQueen, I've done cactuses that go with his like theming.
Were you commissioned by YouTube to do one as well?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was for an advert. It was actually for a YouTube advert, and then weirdly, another lady got asked to make it again for.
You were asked to develop the idea, but they couldn't shoot in the UK. They were shooting
that was it. Yeah, they
overseas.
couldn't film me making it, so I had to make the original cake for somebody else to copy from, and then the other person made the actual one that got used in the advert. Did they? Oh, I've just dunked that in my drinking water. So I'm going to just wet this because it's nice and tacky. Okay, so we'll wrap it round. Oh, it almost fits. That never happens. Because that was a bit guesswork. It almost does, but not quite. Sometimes I'm best cutting it slightly shorter than it needs to be because it's fairly easy to stretch it while it's still soft. Okay, and then I'm going to gently push it in. Obviously, because it's straight, you have like a little bit extra paste in that, you know, there's more to squeeze around a smaller area. So just do it gradually so you don't get like a lot of creasing around this bit. I'm not sure if I made any sense with what I was saying there, but you know, like, so we've got the cylinder, and as you push it in, obviously the orange is bigger than the top of the brown. So can you see, like, when I do that, you're getting sort of like wrinkling. So you have to kind of nudge it in sort of gradually, carefully. Oh, you can see actually that my soil's not even in height. Okay, I just want to make sure it's still pretty rounded. I mean, we could have gone for a different shaped plant pot, but I think on the printout they're a little bit rounded, maybe even way more rounded than my one is. Let's see if that still fits in. Yeah, that still fits in there.
The side and
then I want to do like a little trim for the top, I think. Actually doesn't look bad without a trim, does it? But you can tell it's getting dark in here, can't you? Because I feel like it's quite grainy in here. Let's see. We'll make a little rim for the top, and then we can decide whether it looks nicer with or without.
Right.
I have a habit of going a bit clunky sometimes with it.
Is there fondant that's actually edible? Somebody, Byron says he gets confused over fondant.
Yeah, so fondant usually is... so fondant and ready roll icing is like the soft rollout icing that you cover your cakes with. Not everybody likes the taste of it. It's just very sweet. It's pretty much like icing sugar, isn't it? And
people like your
usually
sister.
Preservatives.
Like
my sister loves it. I don't really like eating fondant, but it is edible. But it's usually like so sweet, and people are overly keen, or a lot of people are not overly keen on it. So it's kind of often they pick the fondant off. The modelling chocolate does taste of chocolate because it is just chocolate and the corn syrup or glucose syrup, depending on where you are. I say corn syrup because in the US it's corn syrup you would use, but it's hard to get hold of corn syrup over here in the UK. So we tend to use glucose syrup instead, which is just like sugary stuff, isn't it, really? Just more and more sugar that you're putting on it. This stuff, which is the modelling paste, is again very similar to your icing. It's usually not as nice tasting as the icing. But yeah, I'm just going to put this into a circle. But they are edible. All the ones that I use are.
Mighty Guitar Mods 4806 says a knife with strawberries on it. That's different. Hi, Richard.
I've got them with all sorts of patterns.
Yeah,
I've got one with cactuses
He
on.
also said hi, Richard. There you go. Hello.
Richard's impressed that somebody said hi to him. People say hi to him all
Yeah,
the
I know.
time.
I've had quite a few highs this evening.
Okay, what do we think? Right, I
I
haven't
know,
stuck
we're
it
gonna
on. I've
sit-
just rested it on the top. I've just rested it on the top edge. The only thing is you can see the seam.
But if that's at the back, it's not going to...
Or does it cover up too much of my
Yeah, I
cactus?
think I'd stick something in the bottom because your cactus is a bit taller.
Or
Yeah.
should I go smaller? Should I roll it a bit thinner? What does everybody
Or you
think?
could just put a little something on...
I can't believe I've not got my cactus knife out.
Do you want to go find your cactus?
It's purple and it has little cactuses all over. Or is that my avocado one that's... Anyway, I've got them with all different patterns on. But they gradually, can you see, it gradually wears out, which is a bit annoying, but I love my patterned knives. I'm just going to try and go a little bit thinner. So I tend to roll just with my fingers. However, sometimes people find that they get it very lumpy bumpy, which actually it is a little bit lumpy bumpy at the moment. And that's just because of, where you're pressing in your fingers. So if when you're rolling, you can kind of move your fingers along, it tends to make it a little bit neater, less lumpy bumpy, a little bit smoother. But your other option is to take a cake smoother, which I usually have one around on the table, but I don't. It's basically just a flat plastic thing that you smooth cakes with, and you can kind of roll it like this on your icing, and that will give you a way more even snake shape. Cylinder, what do you call it, this? The shape?
Snake shape's brilliant.
I didn't know if there was a more technical
I'd stick with
term.
snake shape.
Right, does that, hang on, does that
you're gonna decide,
thickness
Carol.
look nicer?
Yeah, that looks a little bit better.
Do you think the cactus does need to be a little bit higher up?
If we just put a little bit of paste in
I
the
can put
bottom.
some extra paste in, yeah. Okay, so let's stick this on here. Oh, I haven't dusted it yet. I might dust the cactus before sticking it in.
Got stuff everywhere.
Oh, did you just say I've got stuff everywhere? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got stuff everywhere. I'm working on like a tiny bit of space because of like the amount of rubbish I've kind of got out everywhere. Okay, hang on. So let's get that onto there. Let's trim it. Did any of you guys join last night for the live that we did in the subscription group? It wasn't here on YouTube, that one, but I know sometimes we have the same people watching.
I recognise a few names.
Oh, cool. Oh, I nearly dropped the knife on the floor then.
Let's just switch this.
I'll show people later what I did in it. We did eyes, different types of eyes. I'm thinking if it's popular enough, we might do another one with just different eyes again, because people seem to like to learn to make the eyes. Okay, so let me get some colours out. Now, ideally, like if you're going to dust colours on, you want to let things kind of dry. I haven't neatened up that bit there, but hopefully it's okay. Yeah, it will be fine. Let me just move that to one side. Yeah, ideally this wants to be nice and firm before you dust it, but it's starting to firm. And obviously we've only got so much time. So I'm thinking, oh no, wait, that's a sparkly. We don't want sparkly, so I've got all my things hidden down here. Oh, this one might be a bit too bright. Let's see, I'm wanting a green that's paler in colour than the cactus. Oh, this must be a new one. We'll start with a bit of this. In fact, let me just get some kitchen roll to put down. It's probably already got powder colour on because it was sat underneath Bowser. But I will still get the powder colour all over my craft mat. But it's quite hard to clean off things. And again, these are edible powders, but still a pain to clean. Okay, so I want a nice brush. And we're just going to try and catch kind of the edges so that it's not the same colour everywhere. So let's see. So usually you put a bit on your brush and then you can dab it on the kitchen roll. Because if you put it on your brush and you just kind of dab straight on, the powder goes everywhere. So you need to kind of keep dabbing so that the powder itself goes deep into the bristles. And then what we're going to do is we're going to catch the edges on here.
Have you any plans to do YouTube meetup whilst you're in Canada?
I haven't, just because I don't think enough people would want to come and meet me, to be honest. I've never done a meetup. I mean, technically when I'm at the cake shows, people come and meet you, but that's because like I'm at the show, if that makes sense. So they come to the show rather than to see me. But no, I mean, I didn't have any plans for anything like that.
You are working.
But I am working there. Yeah, I am working there. So it's
And you're also working with a chap that did have a massive YouTube channel back in the day, didn't he?
I am. So my class is going to be taught by myself. Well, it's our class, not my class. Myself and Joshua John Russell, who those of you that watch a lot of cake videos on here will probably know. So me and him will be making a Christmas themed class. It's what's the Christmas thing called?
Cake Carnival, I believe.
Cake Carnival. It's Chrissy Boone that arranges it, and I've forgotten the name of Chrissy's cake place, and I do know it, and I've forgotten.
Yeah, what was Joshua's page called back in the day? So
the first one was Man About Cake. That was quite a big YouTube channel. And you put me on the spot now because I've forgotten the name of the second one, and I do know it because it had a little picture of a dessert with a skull on it for the logo. Okay, so if you've got loose bits of dust, just take a big clean fluffy brush and just dust like any bits that kind of fell where you don't want them to away. If you do it with your finger, you'll just rub it into the cactus. Can you tell I've put the colour on there?
Yeah.
You can see the difference.
I have a screen here.
Okay, cool. Trying to work out if it needs to be a little bit more cream in colour or not. This is the kind of thing I faff with for ages, and I know on a live I can't really be faffing with this till I get it exactly right. But when I'm not in the live, this is the kind of thing I would spend like much longer kind of working on. I don't know if you can see that a lot more, can you, by me doing it in cream? Does it make much difference? Does it not really?
A little bit.
It sits nicer on the bits, where I spent the time kind of pinching it a little bit thinner. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog snoring in the background.
I was going to say...
So he's got bored and has gone to bed.
Bless him.
I have, obviously, only worked on the one side that you guys can see as well, but you should really do, like, all the way around. But yeah, as long as it doesn't look too flat in colour. Again, I'm happy with it still looking cartoony rather than realistic for this kind of thing, though, because of what it's going to go on and sit on. We could add some dusting to the pot again. Do we need to? I don't know. Do we need to add dusting to the pot, do you reckon, Richard?
We'll have a little bit if you want.
Dip into my colour selection and see what we've got. I was actually wondering if I got like a darker terracotta, but that one's a brown.
K Miller Cakery 5182
yes.
prefers a tidy workspace to start, but she likes the chaos after, especially colours all over.
Do you know what? I hate all the mess, but I am not a tidy worker whatsoever.
No, Zoe is not a tidy worker.
No matter how much I try. Ooh.
The house is like chaos.
Yeah, and I have a habit of leaving stuff everywhere as well, because Richard will say, can we tidy this away now? And I'll say, well, I'm going to need that a bit later in the day, so I'm just going to leave it out. And
2 months later, it's still there.
Yeah. It's not the cakes themselves, he means, but like all the different tools and equipment. Now, the only thing is, can you see, because I've started dusting straight away, well, I don't know if you can see or not, I had wet the icing to stick this top piece on, and my dust kind of clings more to the areas that are still wet. So ideally, I should have really let this dry before adding this bit of colour. I also should have really kept this brush nice and clean, look, so I could use it for dusting the colour off rather than on. But I'm just dusting. Can you see it around the bottom? So that the bottom kind of almost, or the idea being that the bottom then looks like it's a bit more in the shade, and that it's like a little bit brighter colour-wise, where the light would kind of hit it there and there. It is, like I say, very patchy now because I should have waited for it to dry and I didn't. So there you go. You guys can learn from that, not to just rush to dust. I'm going to put the lids on because if not, I do knock these over. And they're a right pain to get out your clothes when you knock them all over your trousers. Can you all hear the snoring?
I can hear the snoring.
At least it's not me this time, Richard. Sometimes Richard falls asleep when he's supposed to be watching the comments and watching the camera.
Often.
No, but it has happened.
When I'm editing, I do sometimes, but
Yeah,
I'm watching
you
the same
keep
thing again and again and
Do
again.
you want to go to side camera? And I'll show people. I'm going to just put a little bit of paste in. I'm going to... Oh, sorry, you can go to the top for a second if you want. I'm just going to dunk a tiny bit of the paste in the water. So we get like a really sticky bit.
Does your Mighty Guitar Mods is asking... Well, he's asking me, does those kitchens smell like cake and Chanel?
No.
No. I mean, to be...
It often smells of chocolate, actually.
Yeah, we've got a constant smell of chocolate because we use a ganache a lot, so there's always chocolate about.
Right, okay, so soft paste in, and then I'm going to squeeze that in.
Not too far down.
No, well, that piece of paste is going to stop it going all the way in. Can you see? So before that hit the bottom, and because I've just put a little bit of soft paste in there that was a bit sticky because I didn't take my water, it will prevent that going all the way down to the bottom anyway. There we go. So that's our first one, a little cactus. I mean, ideally I need to make a lot more of them, but I won't make you guys watch me make all of them. Should we go for a bonsai?
Ooh, a bonsai?
Yeah, the bonsai tree. He's got bonsai, isn't he? The only thing is it's not in my picture.
You got one in front of you?
Yeah, I know, but I'm sure, like, the one in the programme, like I say, not that these are looking exactly the same, but the one, not programme, the one in the trailer,
Yeah.
looks like it's like a pine needle one. So, like, so it came with, like, so, like, or maybe it is on this, yeah, so they're, like, really long pine needles. That would probably take me actually forever to do, wouldn't it? But, you know, let's have a play. Let's see what we can come up with. Are you back to above?
Yes, you are back to above.
Yes.
JJR's other Kate channel was You've Been Deserted.
That was it, yes. I should know.
Thank you ever so much
I
for
was
that.
talking to him just before we came online and I should know.
Yeah, Zoe had a WhatsApp chat with him, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. He did say he was going to join and watch this evening. I'm kind of hoping he's not now since I forgot the name of what his second YouTube channel was called. Okay. So I was gonna start with the base, but I'm not. I'm gonna create like a tree trunk for it first. So we want like quite a nice bendy one. I'm probably gonna have to re-microwave this. Look, can you see it's already starting to firm up? Or is that the bit that I didn't microwave? Oh, I can't remember. I'm gonna make the base in this. Now it might work with just this. However, if we kind of bring out smaller branches, let's see if I can show you on this. The plastic one's a bad example because the plastic, can you see in here, they've made it really solid. So you can see branches, but in between every branch is solid plastic. That's to give it strength. Obviously it makes it look less realistic, but we also like need to give it strength on the cake topper because the thin branches won't just hold up a load of icing leaves on their own.
His bonsai tree is the same size as him.
Is it?
Well, you got him next to it.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant in the clip.
Oh, well, yeah,
so
this
it actually is quite big. Well, the thing is, if I'm going to slot it inside our cake castle...
We'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek at how far Zoe yours.
Yeah, I'm looking across the room at the cake castle and it's starting to look like it's sloping a bit. So I'm hoping I haven't made it too heavy that it's giving way.
Well, it needs to be finished sharpish.
Or maybe I put something underneath it just in case it breaks before I've finished it. But yeah, anyway, so extra support is probably needed to help hold it up a little bit with the finer branches. So it does mean that I can put something in like wires, but I wouldn't then eat the tree because it's going to make it so that it's not edible really by having wires. Wires come in all different gauges. The higher the number, the thinner the wire.
Did you have to think then?
Yes, I did. The lower the number, the thicker the wire. So I do have some thin ones, 30, but they're probably not going to hold anything up, or very little. So let's see. So my plan is to twist together different ones, different wires. So like this is where it would help actually if I'd probably got out my little pliers. So we'll twist a few together like this. Okay. It will become thicker where they're twisted together. It's a really bad colour actually to show you, isn't it? Because... And then you can kind of pull out the thinner bits at the top. And let me just keep adding actually to this. It is a bad colour that I picked. I should have seen if I had some white wires, shouldn't I? Could you, Richard, just soften me a little bit more of the brown?
How much do you need?
Not too much. Oh no, you can about half of that, but don't make it too soft. Otherwise, we'll struggle with it. Okay, so let me get that tree again so I can work out. You what, Richard?
Can I steal your knife?
You can steal the knife. Can you not break that one?
No.
Yeah, just to help me kind of work out where to put branches and stuff. So we've got one big one, and then it kind of comes out into like a lot of kind of smaller ones. I can trim the ends to the lengths I want and stuff like that afterwards, so that's not a problem. I'm just going to go for 3 together again. I really should try and find my pliers, shouldn't I? Because it would make things a little bit easier for twisting. In fact, if I had 2 pairs of pliers, it would make life easier. There we go. Can you guys see that? Sorry, I'm not always very good at getting it in shot, am I? Okay. It becomes much stronger everywhere that these are twisted together. So, let's see. So let's say we want that kind of as a branch that's kind of coming down here.
You have to get some white paper underneath because you can't really see.
I'll just put that under. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
A bit better. Okay, and then we can start kind of bending them round, you know, to create different shapes. Or maybe I want those two still twisted together a little bit. Like this, for example. The snoring is only going to get louder from here. I'm sorry, guys. The problem is it's like open plan downstairs, so it doesn't matter where we put him. You can hear him where he is, unless he's upstairs.
You can still hear him from upstairs.
But yeah, you can still hear him downstairs from upstairs. Okay, so we've got like one branch. I'm aiming for kind of like a bit of this one, and then let's add these ones as well, so they can come kind of. In fact, I maybe don't want to bend it too much, just there. Let's see if we can twist these ones together. Now here. So it's going to become thicker and thicker the further around this goes. Can you see what I mean about the castle looking like it's sloping there, Richard?
Yeah.
I hope it's not, because I don't want it to break. I spent ages on it. Okay. There we go. And if these kind of touch each other, that's fine as well. You can...
No, I think it's just the angle.
Is it just what it looks like? It looks like it's going to, but it's not going to. Okay, hang on. I'm going to cut a few wires off this end. I don't want to cut them down too much, but enough that we can add extra bits coming off on the sides there. So again, if the very ends of them, like this end is too long, it doesn't matter, don't worry, because that's easy to trim down afterwards. So I'm going to just try and add this one around here in the middle. Let's see if we can kind of wrap it on. Twisting it around here. And I'll try and get that one, hopefully you can see from the top, to come out from the side a little bit. I was thinking it would only take me 5 minutes to put together some wires, but actually I think it's going to take me longer than 5 minutes, isn't it, to put together. But that is going to be like one branch that's coming out to one side. And like I say, you can move them around to wherever you want, really. Have fun with it on a bonsai tree. Okay, and then I think now if we start working on some that are going to come from this side, we'll probably still need more on there as well, I think. Okay, let's cut some more. I will probably have to get some more wires out as well, though. So let's twist them together. Like I say, the more wires you've got, the stronger it's going to be. If you're not planning on putting much on it, then it's probably not going to matter too much if it's not like really, really strong. I'm going to put this one on here, twisting it onto here like that. Okay, so as this is my branch that's kind of coming out to the side there. So I think this is going to be like the big base that's coming down now. So let's try and twist these together as well. Did you manage to soften it for me? Thanks, Richard. Okay. Wind those around there. Like that. Okay. Now, this one does have roots that kind of come out to the side, but I think rather than us pulling the wires out to become the roots, the wires we can try and push into the base when we create a base. Or I can push the base kind of over them and then pull them out underneath so that they're kind of anchored on there. But yeah, we're going to leave them too long at the moment. Like I say, I can trim them down later if needs be. Let's get a couple more wires out. It very quickly uses up a lot of wires, this. Okay. So let's twist these ones together. I'm sorry, I don't think about things, do I, that are going to be interesting to make or watch, in that I should think of things where there's lots of different processes involved. But again, quite repetitive, isn't it, for this one? Okay, so we want to keep most of the tree, I think, to that side. Hang on. Has that moved, or did I always have it in that direction? Okay. I'm actually going to add that one to this one as well. Just give this one a bit of extra strength. Oh, this is where they're going to all start kind of getting interwound with each other and get in the way of each other. Okay. Was there any more questions or anything, Richard, while I'm doing this? It will thicken up the stalk bit as well. All this. Okay. I go quiet when I'm concentrating, so I apologise, guys. Okay, so I think, yeah, kind of, what do you reckon, that shape? We'll try and bend some of these ones kind of
just move the camera a little bit
upwards. A little bit. And what I can actually do is to try and cut back on how much paste we put on, because obviously these are quite thin, they're only going to take so much weight, is we could add little polystyrene balls and then cover them so it looks like it's solid leaves, even though actually it's not. Because can you see this one? It's pretty solid all the way along there, but there's no branches kind of in between. It's just brown hard plastic. That is going to be a little bit harder for us to do on this unless we put something kind of in the middle that's kind of hidden, because we still want to have kind of bits of gaps here. But let's see if we can get this on. So this is our modelling chocolate. Just checking I'm fairly happy with the... Yeah, I think that the weight of that should be okay. It will strengthen a little bit as well when we add the modelling chocolate. I'm just bending this around a bit more.
So yeah, I've put a poll in the live chat.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked our audience.
Okay, what's the question?
Do you prefer cake making or making cake toppers?
You mean baking the cake or decorating the cake?
We'll go with decorating.
I don't know. That's
you have to pick one.
Why do I have to pick one?
Because you'll just say, well, I like a little bit better. One or the other.
I do like both.
Which is your preference?
This doesn't want to stick. Okay, what I might have to do is... Sorry, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, Richard. Let me get my florist tape, which was here somewhere. There you go. So modelling chocolate, when it's a bit warm, sometimes it clings to itself really well, but it doesn't always cling to everything else well. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So if I cover it in a bit of florist tape when I find the end, it can sometimes help it stick a little bit better. Although it's going to be difficult to get it all the way up those branches, so we'll start part way down. I'm not going to put it everywhere, we're just going to put it on a little bit just to help it stick.
Have many of you watching seen the new Super Mario film yet?
But yeah, in answer to your question, Richard, how can I pick one between toppers and cakes? I get bored of doing one when I've done the same thing a few times. Like if I've done a topper a few times and then I've not done a cake for a little while, then I get bored of just doing like toppers, so I then want to make cakes. Or if you're using this florist tape, guys, stretch it out as you're doing it. Otherwise, the stickiness that's on there doesn't go sticky until you kind of pull it tight. and kind of press it onto itself.
So I've been asked a question
Yes.
by Mighty Guitar Mods.
Yes.
Richard, Zoe posted a photo of you in baking wipes on Instagram a while back. That must have been years ago.
Oh, it was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Oh, you might put one up on my birthday, possibly, which is more recent.
You used to do the baking, though.
Yeah, were you a chef? No, I was most definitely not a chef. I got roped into...
you got very good at baking.
Yeah, I did get good at baking, so obviously. So I used to bake all like eggs, and I used to do a lot of the prep work, like the ganache.
Yeah, you didn't originally, did you?
No. My background is I used to work in corporate finance in a bank. So a little bit different to...
But yeah, can you see then it's taped up? Should hopefully make it a little bit easier for me to stick this to.
Now I just work with lovely Zoe.
You do? He's not usually calling me lovely Zoe though. Okay, let's see if this... Yeah, that sticks a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is we're going to try and squeeze it on. It will make it much thicker looking as well. If there's bits of the wire that show, it's fine. We can go back and we can add bits of the chocolate because it's like a bark effect. You know, it doesn't have to be like a really nice smooth bit of chocolate on there. We can kind of, you know, make it lumpy bumpy, like a textured tree trunk, I guess.
You're ace with your words.
I know, I start thinking about loads of different things and then I forget what on earth I was on about. It's because I never even finished saying today about you and your chef's whites and you baking. Originally, my sister used to actually help me bake because my sister loves baking. She has awards for baking, but once she's won at her university. She teaches at the university, but not baking. No, she doesn't teach. I lie, she's not even a teacher. She works at the university and they run like little baking competitions. So that's where she's won her awards. But yeah, she used to love doing the baking, so she used to come and help me with that. Then she got herself a boyfriend. And was too busy to help me then because she had better things to do with her time. And I struggled to get all the baking done as well as the decorating. So that's when Richard said he would help me with the baking. And that's how we got into baking. Okay. I get bored of wrapping this bit around. Do you know what? I feel there's actually a hard bit of chocolate in this bit of paste. Occasionally when you make modelling chocolate or buy it, I know it has softened.
So
you can
far,
find you get the odd lump of chocolate that hasn't quite melted.
Cake toppers are up at 78%.
Yeah,
cakes at 22%.
I feel like the nice thing about cake toppers is that they don't go off the same way that a cake was, so you've got way longer to spend with it. Do you want to plug the iPad in, Richard? Because it looks like it's going to die.
Yes, I would.
Sorry, guys. I should have just spent the time wrapping the whole tree, shouldn't I, in this? Or made one before we came online to show you, but I didn't have time for that.
That would mean prepping.
It would, wouldn't it? It would. But I hate baking. I didn't used to, but then when after doing it for customers for so many years, it's always baking the same few flavours, which is fine because that's what people like. But I did kind of get bored of just doing those same few cakes all the time, and now I don't really do any baking, do I?
You also have the attention span of a goldfish. And
I would forget I put them in the oven. Even you're probably thinking, why didn't you just put a timer on? I did. I used to put a timer on and then check them, and then if they weren't quite done, I would forget to put the timer back on for an extra 5 minutes. So I'd wander off and think, oh, it's fine, it's 5 minutes, I'll just come back in 5 minutes. Only I would forget about coming back in the 5 minutes time, and half an hour later realised that I completely overbaked the cake and would have to do it again.
That's the same with general cooking.
It's the same with everything. I figure, as you well saw from me just with the microwave just then, I only needed it to be on for a few seconds and I still lost attention to what I was doing. But yeah, so I prefer doing the decorating part to actually baking any of the things. Way easier. And then next weekend, Sandra Farmhouse is supposed to be coming down. I don't know how many of you guys used to watch or do watch the British Bake Off. He's supposed to be coming over next weekend for us to make something for YouTube for you guys. So I won't tell you what we're making just in case we change our minds and end up making something different. But yeah, I know he wants to go with something with isomalt. I've got chocolate all under my finger. Okay, so let's start building up. In fact, you know what? It might be easier for me to just kind of wrap it and squeeze it. That trunk might be a little bit long. I might start it up there. So don't worry if it goes thicker than the wire as well. You can kind of change the shape of it as you go along. That one doesn't look like that, but you know, never mind. It's fine. Doesn't have to look the same as that one. If you do find that your modelling chocolate isn't sticking to itself or to anything, you can use a little bit of water or even a little bit of piping gel to help attach things.
Looking good. So,
well, it's not looking good yet, but it's fine.
But
it's starting to look more like a tree.
So, obviously, Sketch by Steve asked a
Yes.
good question for you.
Yes.
So, the full castle cake, will this be available? Where is that going to be available?
So I'm going to show you like how I decorated it and everything on here on YouTube. And then because there's so much involved, it's quite a lot of video footage for this one. I'm going to put kind of a behind the scenes video up again on the subscription service for this one. And that will kind of be all, you know, like the planning, working out how I create like the templates, building like all the structure, the base and everything like that it goes on. That will all go in subscription. And then like the decorating part will go on here on YouTube for everybody.
It's a beast of a cake, isn't it?
It is a beast of a cake. When I've done a bit more of this, we'll show you guys it so far. It's not finished. Bowser's just got a jaw with not the rest of his face on there at the moment, but...
And I'll pop a link in comments if anyone wants to take a look at the subscription service, so you can take a view and see what you think about it. But it's one of those things. There's no contract, is there? You can join for a month, then opt out if you don't.
Oh, on subscription, yeah, it's like a monthly membership thing, but for however many months you want to do, you stop it at any point. Okay, it's starting to look a bit more like a tree, isn't it? The hardest bit's now to cover these thin bits because, like I say, it's hard to make this stick to it. I really need to tape them, and the thin bits are a pain to tape. That noise is the dog drinking, in case anybody wondered, sorry. Okay, I'm just going to thicken up my tree trunk down at this end as well. Now, when this does get hard, this paste, it will add a lot of extra strength to the wires. It's just at the moment, obviously, it's still pretty soft. Okay. I don't know if it really needs to be as thick as that at the bottom. I don't know. What do you reckon? I mean, trees look different, don't they? Every tree looks kind of a bit different. Okay. Just keep going with this. This is where really I should start trying to get slightly smaller pieces of chocolate because there's quite a lot of chocolate on here. So I'm going to have to kind of pull it around a little bit. Now, I do want it to come up these little thin ones. But I also need to now just make sure those thin ones are kind of going in the direction that I want them to be in. It's probably a little bit too thick, that bit of chocolate for up there. What do you reckon? Too thick?
Maybe a tad, yeah.
I'll try and pinch the extra off at the back.
But it is indeed one loud dog.
Yeah, he's yeah. You always know when he's around.
Yes.
Okay.
And he will drink forever.
Yeah, he does.
Literally.
He'll be going a good 5 minutes with that water. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a bit of shape in around there. I feel like I do need to make it a little bit thinner there, but it's quite tricky at the moment. So again, let's see if we can, so I'm flattening it, pushing it on, and then kind of folding it around there.
Jane says the subscription service is really good, worth every penny. Thank you very much,
you.
Jane.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. Right, okay. Where did I put the knife?
Are you all enjoying it? I was going to say it's been several years since we've done 2 Facebook Lives. Pretty much in a week, isn't it? So last Friday.
You told me I wasn't allowed to say the FBA word when we were on.
Live stream. Sorry, yeah. But are you enjoying the live streams? I was going to say, I hope you are.
I think these guys watching it probably are the ones that enjoy it.
Well, I've seen a few people
I'm sure.
I missed the comment. I did see a comment earlier on about somebody saying, "Oh wow, another one that's great."
Oh good. We used to do it a lot, didn't we, during COVID?
Yeah, we did a lot.
There was a lot of them that we used to do.
But yeah, I know.
I feel like there's not a lot I can tell you instruction-wise for this, so I do apologise. I am just trying my best to cover these wires, but as you can see, it's a little bit awkward. Again, it's the kind of thing where I'd probably do a little bit of one of the branches, and then I'd put it to one side and go off to do something else, because it's not the easiest thing to do. Okay. I'm wondering whether if I put polystyrene ball on the ends of these, if it might be easier to then put the... No, it's not going to be easier, is it? I was going to say if it might be easier to put the modelling chocolate around it then after that, but I don't think it will be. Press that one down there.
Just gonna put that under the entire workspace because it's actually helpful when it's all over white. So
Oh, okay.
just a bit more white.
I'm just going to actually put a bit of water just on the edges to see if we can get that to stick together a little bit better. See if we can stretch it out just there. Okay. So sometimes rubbing water on can help make it a little bit stickier. So I'm going to put some... I'm sorry that the dog is now chewing his feet. There's never any quiet time from him ever. If he's quiet, it means he's vanished somewhere. He's done a runner. Escaped. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. So, I might, while I'm getting bored of covering these, move on to do like a little plant pot or base for it. Did you find a picture of it, Richard, on the computer?
No.
Never mind. We'll just go with their own made-up version. That's fine. If you want to put texture in before it has a chance to dry, you can, you know, just put some little wiggly lines. Again, I guess it depends what kind of bark it has, doesn't it, as to how textured it would be. Just, can you see putting lots of lines in? Does that show on there, Richard?
Let's have a look. Yeah, just, I don't actually know if it's better without the white, you know.
It's almost, I think the light you've got on is quite bright and it kind of stops you from
I think it's actually...
seeing the detail.
Yeah, I think it's actually better without the white underneath at the moment.
I don't know. Right, okay. What I was thinking was, so I've got a piece of polystyrene here. I was thinking of adding, can you see like just a bit of polystyrene to the tops of some of these? So it keeps kind of the weight down a little bit, but still adds a bit of volume. Just going to play around with where that one kind of goes. Ooh, I have to be careful not to break the modelling chocolates just come away from that. Do you know what? Let's take it off there. Let's work out what polystyrene we're going to add where. So like I say, we're not going to be able to eat this because of these bits that I'm putting on now. Just go in there. Go in and stay. There we go. But what I have to be careful of is obviously getting polystyrene everywhere. As this chocolate starts to firm up, it becomes less flexible. So as I'm bending these bits, if they've got the chocolate on that's kind of firmed up, it will just crack off and drop off. So we have to be careful of that. I'm just going to get another polystyrene ball or two. Just a second, guys. Ooh, I think I just knocked something off there.
You've got a huge hug from Mexico City.
Say again, sorry, Richard.
You've got a huge hug from Mexico City. That's from, well, I'll just say Maria, I believe.
Let's see. I don't think I'm going to need all of these, but let's see. So these are the polystyrene balls that usually you would buy to put in the middle of like flowers and things like that if you're making things like flowers. Okay, let's see. Usually my knife is sharp enough to go through. It might not be today. No, not quite. It's gone through, but it's a bit messy. Usually it's sharp enough that it doesn't leave any kind of scruffy bits. Ooh, should we go for a bigger bit there? What do you reckon, Richard? Ooh. So can you see it starts to kind of make it take shape a little bit? I mean, it's not fully, but, you know, a little bit. I'm wondering if we can even get a part one. I should have gone to sharpen my knife, really. Yeah, it's still Bruce making those gross noises. Okay, just checking where all these wires are going and heading. Should I put that same size one or should we go a bit bigger there?
Nudge up a little bit. Do you want me to move the camera down a little bit? That's perfect.
I have no idea, Richard. I was going to say you're in charge of the views, the viewing of the what's where. Right, just put that down like that. What do you reckon? Go for a smaller one there, maybe. These will all look very different when we've got paste on them anyway. Kind of looks like it's grown mushrooms, doesn't it? I am going to have to watch out for all the bits of polystyrene now that I have kind of got everywhere. I'm going to take a little bit off the end of that. You can, if you want all these things to be on a bit more secure, you can hot glue gun things together as long as it's not going to be eaten. Okay. So we need another one. I didn't end up using that big one though. Let's put another one on around this side here.
It is definitely taking shape now.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to bend that wire upwards a little bit more. Bruce.
So is this your first time making a bonsai tree?
Yeah, can you tell? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so.
That was good.
It looks like it's, a mushroom tree or something. But we're going to cover that in some green. Now, I do actually have some flower paste.
So this bit wouldn't be edible, though, would it?
No, we would have to take this whole topper off because it's not going to be edible because of the, the wires and the polystyrene. But I guess the same as if you had flowers, like a lot of flowers have got wires in. Not every flower, but a lot of icing flowers do have them in. Okay, I do have to watch out for those bits of polystyrene though. So what I would do is I would cover these in a layer. In fact, you know what? We could have covered them in green and then pushed them on. That's what I should have done. I should have thought to do that first. But let's see. Now, I'm just wondering whether we can get away with... I've got, obviously, the modelling paste we were using before, or this one's a flower paste. I actually don't know what this brand is. It's one that I got in a goodie bag. You know, when I was last in Australia, I was at an awards ceremony thing, and you get like a goodie bag at the table. And this was one of the things in it. So I have used it before. It's actually really nice. It's completely different kind of consistency colour and texture. It is a nice colour. It's a really nice colour. I'm just wondering if I can mix them together or if it won't work because this is flower paste. This is modelling paste. Most things do mix together okay. Some things don't. Shall I just try it and see? Yeah.
Do you want me to put that in the microwave? Is that?
Yeah, if you can microwave that. And I should have some more bits of green. Can you microwave that as well, please? Thanks. Thank you. And then the other thing I want to do is make a base for our bonsai. That one's in a blue base, but should we do a different colour base? Mainly because I haven't got any blue over here. It could go in a purple base because I've got some purple here. Then I'll probably have to microwave a bit of that purple.
I've got plenty of blue over here if you want to just...
It's fine, I've got blue in the other cupboard that's already open. Richard, could you just microwave me a bit of purple? Just microwave me half the pack. Thank you, I'll need that. Thank you. So Richard's just softened this a bit in the microwave for me. I feel like the lighting is really bad though, don't you, in here?
Yes, today.
Did I have any more of that green or did I just use all the green?
There's
Let me
some
just move that to one side. It's actually ended up massive, hasn't it, that bonsai tree? I don't even know if it will fit in my... if it will actually fit. Do you think that will fit, Richard, or do you think it won't fit?
Pretty good at it now.
I'm wondering whether I should kind of, make it a little bit tighter around there. No, it'll be fine. If it doesn't fit, it'll have to go on the top. This is where I should have shown people over there at the thing. 1 second, I'm just holding it against here.
Do you want me to...
I think that's not even going to go in there, it's so big.
Do you want me to come across and show?
Yeah, okay. Excuse the mess everywhere. So it's to go, I was going to sit it in here, but I'm not even going to get that through there, look. Can you see? There's no way that's even going to go in there. It's so big. Massive. Massive, massive, massive.
So that is the cake.
so far. I need to finish it. It isn't quite finished yet, guys, but... So I don't usually spend as long as I have done on that cake, but I've been having long breaks away from it rather than just getting on with it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, do you know what? I feel like that is too big. So what I could do is I can shorten it, but it can only go as short as that branch. I suppose the branch could come over the base, couldn't it? That it's going to go on. See, this is why miniatures, I don't do very many miniatures, because I always end up going like way over size on them. And them ending up being massive. Okay. So that now is a much smaller, shorter size. Did you manage to get the purple needed?
No.
Just put the whole block in, Richard. Put the whole block in and see. If it's too hard to cut, stick it all in.
No, I was literally just starting to cut it.
Or just stick it in. For speed, just stick the whole thing in. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I am not happy with how big it is. It has ended up massive. So, I feel like these want to be on, but kind of further down. It doesn't look big when I've got it here, but when it's over there, it just looks so big. I think. Let's take some of these off, and let's see if we can bring this one to be kind of closer in here. And take some of the chocolate off, if I can. The chocolate is now under every one of my fingernails. Okay, it doesn't look much smaller, does it, at all yet? Maybe if we just do away with the tiny branches. I like the tiny branches, but I'm just wondering if I can compress this all a bit more, then maybe we don't need all those tiny, tiny branches. Because when we add the green to it, it's going to end up even bigger everywhere anyway, isn't it? Now it just looks a bit bald. Doesn't it? It looks like a sad bonsai now. Ah, dear. My sad bonsai. Okay. So, I'm going to put the base on here, and then we're going to pull these out once the base is on, I think. Just going to untwist them a little bit because I don't want the base to be too deep. So we're going to untwist these a bit. So you see what happens when you make it up as you go along. Which is fine. That's how you make most things, is just kind of doing it and seeing what happens.
So I'm going to get some blue paste.
Is it not very good, the purple one? It's really old, I think, that purple one.
Yeah, it's not even blending.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll try doing... I wasn't going to do these bits just yet, but I will do because Richard's struggling with the paste for the base. And that's not that bad, Richard. If you just add a bit of water to it, it might come together. Or maybe not, actually. I don't know. It's a very old pack that I've got, so it's very, very crumbly. Okay, so instead what we'll do is we'll put some stuff on these and cover them. So... I should really keep this in a pack. Again, bad colour. Look, she got the same colour as my mum. It's a bad colour for me to use for you guys to see. Let's cover our polystyrene. So I am going to have to use some water to stick it. Or you can use piping gel or something like that. Now, I'm not too worried about it being like super neat. So can you see if that changes shape when I'm sticking it on? That's fine because we can add... to that anyway. So just make sure our little branches go upwards. We can add lots of like leaves and things on top of it. Press that on. Can you see how much bigger that looks than this one, even though it's the same size piece of polystyrene though that's in there? Oh, I've lost my knife now. Have you got a knife, Richard?
Yeah, it's that.
I just want to take off some of the chocolate. Can you see how crumbly the chocolate is when it's had time to set? So like all those little bits that I'm chipping off, if I spend time warming them up again, they will go back to being like a nice pliable paste rather than those hard bits that we've got just in a minute. Okay. Take a little bit off this one. Also, like I can trim them down. Like these are quite long, so if we don't want them as long as that, we can just trim them so that they're not sticking out from the top of my piece of polystyrene. Let's see if we can cover this one. Might need a bigger piece of paste actually than that. I'm just going to stick this leftover bit of paste in my bag, otherwise it will dry out and be a little bit difficult to use. I'm tempted, do you know what, to go for just small bits on there and have, what do you reckon, Richard? Small at that side, or is that going to make it too kind of naked looking?
No, but also a little bit like, I mean, you're looking at the, you're kind of basing it on this one as well, aren't you?
Well, a little bit, but it didn't really matter, does it? Any bonsai. As long as it looks like a bonsai, I suppose. So I'm just waiting. I probably should have gone and got the piping gel, because piping gel does stick better to polystyrene than water does. If we end up with little bits that the polystyrene shows through, we'll just try and push it together. But again, we can add lots of bits of leaves to it. But I kind of like it a bit scruffy because it loses its perfect kind of shape of being, you know, like a dome shape. I'm going to stick a bit of water on just to see if it does help it cling on here. Okay, there we go, like that. Just check it's not sort of too tilted at one side compared to the other. Oh, my wires come out a little bit there, but what I'll do is I'll just add a bit of paste over that to cover that in a little bit. Just watch out for bits of polystyrene. This is why, if you do any work with polystyrene, don't sort of do it in the same area that you've got like your cake and things, because you really have to be careful of the small bits of polystyrene going everywhere. Yeah, the bonsai might have to go on his roof rather than in the castle. At least it'll be like the right size for what's he called? Richard, what are you doing?
I'm just moving the brush out of the way to get this away.
Where's the new stuff?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay. You could have told me you'd done it. Needed me some blue, I think. It's just, I say, like, if he doesn't tell me it's done, you see, it'll go hard before I've had a chance to use it, and then it'll need re-kneading again. That's why I say it. Okay. See, this stuff's starting to firm up again as well, so I'm just brushing the water on. Sometimes I'll kind of brush it for a while just so that I can feel that it's started to go sticky, because it doesn't necessarily go sticky straight away. Do a little one. I mean, I think it will look better even when these are just covered anyway. But like I say, obviously we need to put leaves and things on. Now, you could do these in solid paste rather than using the polystyrene, but obviously it would add a lot of extra weight. And can you see it doesn't have to be perfectly flat at the bottom there. We can kind of play around with the shape a bit there. I can't remember which shape went where, to be honest. I'm going to put this one on here. No, it went on here, didn't it? And that one go on at the back. Okay. Right, let's cover this one. Richard's just letting the dog out because he's moaning. The dog, that is. The dog doesn't want to go out. Richard's answer to when the dog moans, he thinks that the dog wants to go outside. He doesn't. Well, sometimes he does, but it's that he likes to go out and cause trouble, like for the neighbours and the foxes. Like there's always foxes around, and the dog can hear the foxes, and he likes to go out and, yeah, just cause a bit of bother with them, really. Okay. Oh, do you know what? I don't like those two big ones together like that. They're too much at the same height as each other, and they're too kind of similar. Let's see if we can swap and put this one here and the bigger one at the back. Hang on. I might have to trim these 3 little prongs down, maybe. Okay. Does it look kind of better like that, do we think? Where they're kind of overlapping each other and stuff. It does want a little bit of drying time, like I say, because I need to amend the chocolate. And sometimes it's just so much easier if it's had a chance to set a little bit longer, and then like they can set in place. I can add the chocolate, we can add the leaves, etc. And let's see if we can do a base. Now it is very kind of heavy this way. So even though there's polystyrene in there, that is still a pretty heavy tree.
Hey. Camilla K5182 asks, Richard, Zoe,
Yes.
do you have plans on making more moulds?
Like different types of molds, or just ones that were out of stock of redoing?
There's no immediate plans on making new designs, but we are looking to get hold of some of the restock on some of the sold out ones.
Yeah, it's
on
just
this year.
quite expensive because we have to get quite a lot redone. But as for new designs, I don't know, because they are just so expensive to make. That it's just a huge investment to get new ones done. I guess like if enough people wanted it, but I don't know if there would be enough people that sort of want new ones or not. So I'm trying to keep this really thick because I need quite a bit of weight to balance out this. I am sorry about the dog, guys. So we don't want the base to be too small. We'll try and cut a rectangle. Can't even think of the shape then. In fact, if I try and line it up with the lines on my board, it should help me get a rectangle. Do you know what? I should have cut it so that instead of the lines going straight, they went inwards like that. I didn't think about that, did I? It's too late now. It's this way now. Let's see size-wise. Does it look like a good size? I think it's okay. Like I say, it needs to be a decent size, otherwise it just won't quite work. Okay, it kind of looks like it goes in a tiny bit there, so we'll use it that way up. I'm not too worried about those bits on there. What I am going to do is, let's see, I am going to, this is where it's difficult because it's, I need to push this through here to make a hole, and then what I need to do is open up the wires on the underside of it so that they come a little bit wider, and then stick something over that so you don't see the wires basically. But let's just make a bit for the top. I'll add like a soil bit for the top. Or should we have like a little rim on there first?
You could have just used the block.
Yeah, it would have worked fine. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll add soil, and then we'll do a strip that goes around it. I'll probably just have to use the brown for the soil though. So I'm just going to heat this in the microwave for a few seconds. I am going to have to watch out for all these bits. I mean, I guess we're not going to eat any of the topper, but I still don't really want any of those bits that I've cut off getting in things.
Yeah, it's definitely looking more like a bonsai state type tree now.
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like I haven't got through a lot within the time.
This is a good question.
Yes.
And Camilla K5182, I can answer this for you. She'd like to know, Zoe, what do you do with your old paste? I feel so much guilt throwing it away. Zoe does not throw anything away.
Much to Richard's dislike.
Zoe has got paste in random packets.
I've got so many boxes of old bits of paste all over the place. But, like, even just, like, really bits that feel like rocks that you're not going to be able to do anything with. Sometimes, like, I need to really bulk things out. You know, when I do big show pieces for, like, Cake International and stuff, sometimes it's huge amounts of icing and things that we have to use in things. And sometimes I need to kind of just weigh parts down as well by them being heavier and bulkier in icing. So I'll get out all the old stuff and I'll just microwave it all together into one massive batch. And I'll either put it on the sort of inner parts of some of my creations where you're not going to see it, but I still needed it for kind of the bulking out process, or for weighing things down. Sometimes, like, after I've microwaved it, even though it's years old and things, it still comes together all right for, like, putting on, like, the giant pieces. Because at the cake shows and stuff, none of these, they're not eaten. They're never eaten. So I always think I'll save it for that. And then, at least it's getting use out of it. Because I feel bad throwing stuff away. I really do.
That includes cardboard boxes.
It does include cardboard boxes, yeah. I keep everything. I'm a real hoarder.
Plastic tubs, jam jars.
Yeah, okay. I hoard a lot of stuff. I really do. Okay, so I'm trying to kind of create a bit of a mound where it just sticks up in certain parts. What I'm going to do, let's see. See if I can kind of... This is where it's a bit awkward shape-wise, isn't it? I'm going to trim this down a little bit, but then, in fact, if I put it so I can see the line... No, I'm just going to cut through this way. It doesn't have to be neat at the moment because it's not going to stay this exact shape. I was going to say if I cut it this way, where the bulge is, it's going to squash the bulge, but I think I'm going to kind of amend it and play around with it still anyway, so that's fine. Okay. This is too thick at the edge, so I would want to bring it down thinner like that. I basically want it to look like there's some soil sticking up, in the base of my bonsai.
Like your bonsai garden outside?
Yeah. That didn't work very well, did it, my bonsai garden outside? I actually need way less of this than I thought, so let's see. Let's trim it down more again.
Just checking, can everybody still hear us as well?
Have we gone quiet? It might just be that I'm concentrating and that I've not been talking as much. Or have we been cut off again and have we just not realised?
We haven't been cut off again yet. Fingers crossed.
Again, can you see as my modelling paste is getting, my modelling chocolate's starting to firm up, it kind of gets a bit bittier and crumblier. Okay. It's not like perfect or anything, but I think that should be okay. We'll stick that together. You put water on either side. If you want it to stick faster, you can use an edible glue, but again, even with the odd edible glue, sometimes it can be quite slippery at first. Okay, so let's get that on there. So I'm pressing it so it goes down to be thinner at the edges, like here where it meets this side there. I will put like a little rim around it. Now, usually I have got like a Kemper tool for texturing, but I can't see where it is. Ah, it's here. Just to make it more of a kind of soil texture. It's like little wire bristles. So I put it in and then kind of flick it around. I don't know if do we actually have these in the online shop? We do have an online shop, but it sells very, very few things. Like we kind of, really downsized our online shop. But
yeah,
we did used to have
so
these.
concentrate doing more just videos now, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Rather than to really sort of sell products. It's mainly like the book and moulds, isn't it, that we've got?
Yeah.
The odd tool from Cherart. But yeah, that's about it. So I've just textured it so it doesn't look like...
So what did you say this tool was called again?
I think it's called a Kemper tool.
The Kemper tool, cool.
I think that's what they call it on their website, is it? You would probably know better than me, Richard. I think it all gets stuck in the...
Yes, yeah, it is. I thought I'd ask questions. Yeah, that's a Kemper tool. What else could you use for that if you don't have Kemper tools?
Like a toothbrush, but not one you've used.
Use a cocktail stick a lot of times.
Well, yeah, but you'd probably, if you bunch them all together, like if you had like a load of them together, you could.
That's a great idea.
Do it. You probably want to like tie them or elastic band them together or something now for that. Okay. I feel like now I've done that, the tree could even be made even kind of short, or maybe a bit best.
Say bigger. After you've taken that bit off.
Let me just work out, because that branch is going to get in the way a little bit, so it's going to have to go maybe about here. I was actually going to move it further across, but that branch is going to be in the way. I'm just going to poke a little hole in. This might not be big enough for these wires, but we'll see. In fact, I'm going to trim the wires down a little bit, I think. They went through easier than I thought. I thought I'd have to do that one at a time. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's try and slot that into the hole.
Camera.
It's up to you. No, it's fine on the top, I think. Okay. So I'm going to push it in the best we can. And it does kind of catch a bit there, but it's fine. Actually, it looks quite big now, doesn't it? It looks massive. I'm not overly happy with the bonsai, I'll be honest, guys. I mean, really, I should attach it with a little bit of water. I'm still not 100% convinced I'm keeping it as it is though, or if I'm just going to trash the bonsai. Okay. See, sometimes the simple stuff is like turns out better. So like, for example, that cactus plant. So what I want to do is to stop it from falling out, I'm going to bend these wires. Can you see out to the side like this? I will have to trim them down though. It's harder if any of the wires, can you see, are really short like that one? Can you see where I've used the Kemper tool? It's kind of taken all bits of the brown chocolate out everywhere. It's kind of made a bit of a mess. That's that. Okay, so let's trim them so none of them come beyond the blue. Oops. I'm going to be picking these up later, I think. Okay, and then eventually the weight of the bonsai, when we turn it over, should push those down into kind of the base.
You're on this camera now.
I just want to make sure that's at like an angle that's okay, because if there's a lot of weight going kind of to one side or the other, it might cause it to balance to one side. I know my little brown bit, my soil, is just coming over the edge a bit here. Sorry, my hand's going to be in the way a second. So we'll just trim that off. And then what I really wanted to do was make like a nice little edge for around, you know, the top of my bonsai plant pot. I don't know if they have, do they have a special name, bonsai plant pots?
They probably do.
Do you know what would actually be loads quicker? So I was going to make individual little leaves and stick on here. If I just piped royal icing leaves all over it, that would be so much quicker. The only thing is I don't have any made up. So that would take me a while to make. I suppose we could do that off well, not off camera. I don't have to do it in the live. I could do finishing touches off the live and just put it in the full length video, couldn't I, and show everybody. Because officially, like, the messiest tree ever at the moment. I feel like from the angle you don't even see, you know, my small branches that we put on there.
No,
they kind of disappear,
don't they? I'll take the camera
they?
down though, will do, but I'll take it down a little bit later
No, it's fine, don't worry. I'm just going to put, like I say, a little edge around the top of it here to try and neaten it. But again, my blue has started to get pretty hard. I'm just going to put it in the microwave a second, Richard.
Okay. Are you planning on bringing more items into your shop again in the future?
Probably not.
We'll probably get a restock of like some
restock stuff we've already got in here.
Yeah, we'll probably get
tools and things.
Cherart's tools. We'll probably get some more in, and like probably add maybe one or two different ones. But in general, no, we're not going to be stocking like much now. It's like I say, we're trying to just get back to doing like a lot more video content and staying away from.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the shop, it's just really hard to compete. You know, with the big shops that sell cake decorating things, and the price we have to pay for products. Apart from like obviously our own branded products where I've made them myself, but for most other products, it's just so expensive to buy like the things that like you have to pretty much sell them the same price as you bought them for, so you end up losing a lot of money unfortunately on things for the shop. So,
and shipping's a nightmare.
Yeah, shipping is a pain. And also like I actually hate the sales part of stuff. Like I hate, you know, having to try and sell things. I mean, sometimes I think, oh, I wish I was selling the item. You know, when like I'm making something and I'm using an item and then people are like, well, where do I get that from? I really want to buy it. And I think, oh, I should have been selling that myself. But actually, it's just a lot of work, isn't it? And
you're not a hardcore salesperson.
I hate selling stuff. Yeah, I'm really not.
On that note, do subscribe to our subscription service.
Oh, I forgot to tell everybody what the latest thing was. I got so engrossed in this look. I was going to tell everybody like what the last things were that we put in there and stuff.
We'll do that in a little bit. We'll get this on the...
Yeah, okay. So I'm
You're on the side camera now, yeah?
I'm going to put some water on the back of this. And then... Do you know what? Maybe I should just swap to piping gel so it just sticks a bit quicker. The only thing is piping gel, if I do kind of get it everywhere, it just leaves a sticky mess that you can just see if I've gone beyond where I want it to be. Okay, so I apologise. My arm is very probably going to be in the way now.
Do you want to...
I think no matter where you put it, Richard, my hand's going to be in the
I
way. So let me just get a bit stuck down first, and then I can turn it around and kind of show you a bit better. Can you see now?
Yeah, it's coming together.
Okay. I'm going to take it around the back. Oops, I haven't stuck it on very well yet, but where it overlaps, you see, what we'll do, or I'll try and do, is cut through both those pieces and then push it together there. Oops. And then we need to try and make sure it's the same height, and then we need to squeeze the corners a little bit tighter. Can you see that a little bit better, Richard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And then, like I say, it would be lots of individual like leaves and things. So I'm just going to add just a couple of leaves just to start to it to show you. But I think what I might do when we're not in the live is actually get out some royal icing and pipe some leaves on. So it won't be the same as the one in the movie. It will look a little bit different. I mean, unless the leaves end up not taking that long. Oh, do you know what we can use for leaves? That would be quicker than me kind of just rolling individual leaves myself, is a little heart-shaped cutter. Like I say, it's not going to be the pine tree now that I was planning on it being. Now, I did have some little heart-shaped cutters around here somewhere because I was using some. No, I wasn't using some, but I was going to use some in last night's live. They're stars. Maybe if we put loads of stars on, that would make it look like a spiky kind of tree. Anyway, we'll try a couple of different things and then you guys can see. I bet I haven't got my smallest heart cutter anymore. I used to have so many, but obviously like when they go out in classes and stuff, they gradually dwindle. Yeah, so there is one that's a bit smaller than that, which is what I really did want for this. But it's not there. So maybe if... Oh no, it's not a broken one. I thought it was a broken one. It's just that it's not a plunger cutter, is it? Oops. I want that one takes me longer to use because I have to kind of push it out manually. Does that make sense? Whereas plunger cutters kind of do it. They're all the same size. All the same size. Look, I don't need that big one. Okay, so we would choose kind of whichever bit we want to put some on. I do need to finish the little brown branches as well, but you know, we'll go like this for now. In fact, do you know what? I might just go get my piping gel. Let me just roll this out ready, and I'm going to just go get some piping gel. It's like a mix of colours where I haven't kneaded it together properly, this, but it's fine. In fact, it probably works better for the leaves if it is kind of a mix of colours rather than one solid colour. So we'll get it nice and thin, because the thinner we can get it, the further it will go. Can you see I change my mind about stuff all the time as I'm working? I'm like, no, I'm going to do it in this shape. No, I'm going to change it to this shape. Actually, no, let's use royal icing. I can never make up my mind. And then afterwards I was thinking, oh, I should have done it a different way. Right, okay, what was I going to get? Piping gel. I'll be 1 second, because I know where it is. Because I put it away earlier. See, Richard, this is why I don't put things away. I put it away earlier today, and now we're going to use it.
What's that? Is that not piping gel? Is that not piping gel there?
There's pretty much nothing left in it, that one. But I'd put the newer pot I'd put away, so it's just a little bit stickier. The only thing is the little one's harder for me to kind of get my brush in. It doesn't cling to my brush at first, but we can hopefully. I'll put some on that little one, and we'll put some on this other little one.
Lakeland Lady 44. Yes. Loving this live, guys. It's like catching up with old friends. Oh. Mr. Live Ones, you kept us sane during lockdown, Zoe and Richard.
Oh, thank you.
I think it kept us sane during lockdown because it gave us something to do as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it does give us stuff to do. So, can you see that? I'm not sure which camera. Are we on the top camera?
You're on top.
So, like a little star. Hang on, let me go for a different tool just so that. So, if I can pick it up with my Dresden, and then we can kind of push it on, but then spike up. You know, like the edge of it. We'll put a few on and we'll see what they start to look like. And then we'll do the heart-shaped ones as well. I mean, it will look like 2 different leaves, so I can't leave all of them on. We have to pick one or the other, but I'll put that next to that. And again, we'll just bring the pokey bits up. So we need a bit of pressure in the middle of the star, and then we'll lift the pointy bits up. I have to be careful because when I lift the pointy bits up, I'm going to go for something a bit more rounded than that because I feel like it's just going to break it with it being too sharp in the middle. Oops. Can you see? It starts to make it look like a little bit spikier. Can you see that, Richard? And what you should do, and I haven't done, is when you roll out a big piece of icing, you should kind of keep it covered with something like a piece of plastic, which I do have some proper flour, I don't know what you call the little mats that you put on. You can tell I haven't done flowers in a long time. I can't remember what anything's called. But it just stops your paste from drying out, whereas because mine's all here now and it's uncovered, it's going to start drying out very quickly.
What's that tool you're using now?
I don't know, I call it rubber-ended tool, I don't know.
Like a silicone nib tool, isn't it?
Yeah, like a little silicone one. I just wanted something that I could kind of stab these in the middle with and it'd be not too hard. When I was doing it with that, it's just poking a hole in the star, whereas this one's not poking the hole in the star. Oops. Let's try and get a few stars cut. So it kind of looks, I feel like the stars look weird because I think you need quite a few of them grouped together to create the effect. It's almost like, you know, when we do a bobble hat one and we take like a daisy cutter and we bring like the daisies up. Do you know what I mean, Richard? And it gives you like a fluffy effect.
Mm-hmm. Jane says, have you got a foam pad handy and a small boring tool? I worked your tree further in the tree the other day.
Yeah, they're around somewhere. I'm not sure where I've put them. I should just go find everything. Do you know what? I've got so much stuff here and I can never find anything that I want. I needed a diamond stencil or cutter for my curtains that were going in this mini castle cake of Bowser's and couldn't find them anywhere. And I was like, I didn't want to order more because I knew I'd got them somewhere. So anyway, he doesn't have diamond patterns on his curtains like he's supposed to anymore. He's got a real random pattern instead because I gave up looking for them.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I should really go find the little plastic sheets that prevents my icing drying up too much. But can you see it's starting to bulk out a little bit now? It would obviously take me a little while to fill the whole thing. And like I say, the stars are starting to dry out a little bit, which makes them less flexible. Oops, that one didn't quite go in right, but never mind. Can you guys see that?
You're on both cameras at the moment. Best of both worlds.
Okay, so can you see it kind of bulking out? I think it will, like, it looks weird at the moment, but if I get the whole thing covered, it would be like a nice effect.
I think we'll take the camera down to more of the height it's supposed to be as well.
No, it's probably going to look worse from that height, Richard, but thanks. Yeah, thanks for doing it, though.
It doesn't. It looks more like the bonsai shape.
Oh, look at this plunger cutter.
It's a tough one.
Now, ideally, with the little hearts, I wanted the smaller heart, but it's not here. So basically, you'd cut the heart. Can you see what I'm doing, Richard?
Hang on there with me. You're right there. You side of the camera.
So you cut the heart, and then you put a line down the middle with your Dresden or something like that, and then you would put that then onto here. So that we get like a little leaf instead. But I think I actually prefer this way of doing it to that way. Because I think this would fill quicker because it's like takes up a lot more space. But I quite like this way of doing it with the stars. But yeah, my paste is just drying too quickly. And really I should finish doing the individual little branches underneath before doing this bit. But where's my star cutter? I'm just put a few on just to see what it's like, and then I won't make you guys watch me do all of it because I'll do like a lot of these off camera so you don't have to kind of watch it on repeat all the time. Although some of you might be watching so you can get an early night and I'm sending you to sleep, so
I'm not asleep yet.
I know.
We've been on nearly 2 hours as well.
Have we? Okay. Actually thought we'd been on longer than that, so but hopefully you guys can see it starting to kind of bulk out and take shape a little bit more.
Zoe, Richard, how is it like? How is it working together like this?
A nightmare.
That was a bit quick.
Oh, sorry, were you going to say it's fun?
I love working with Zoe.
No, he doesn't.
We have some good days, we have some bad days.
Mainly bad ones.
It's not that bad. We
fall out a lot. We didn't used to fall out before we started working together, which is unusual because I've got a real like temper on me.
I used to be the most chilled, laid back. I mean, I used to work hard, but nothing used to stress me at all. Whereas I am the polar opposite now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's working with me though, or just the fact that from dating me, full stop, that happened. But yeah, it's very hard working together. I think like if I spoke to staff how I speak to Richard, like, well, I wouldn't have any staff. Well, I mean, I don't have any staff, do I? Now it's just me and you, but...
I can't walk out since we live together.
Yeah. It is very hard. I remember like when we first started, people saying, oh no, you never ever work with family members or, your partners. And I was like, well, why? It's absolutely fine. Because I think when you still worked and had a full-time job, it wasn't it? Because you could kind of escape me as well for a little bit, and now you can't.
Well, so that's the thing, like, we're neither of us... so that's the one thing for anybody that looks to work together with your partners. It's that... It's not escape, but you don't get any... You don't get any alone time yourself. The only time I get is when I go to the gym.
And that's if I don't go with you.
Yeah, no, you come... yeah. My alone time is my gym time, essentially.
And my free time from Richard is if I go work away in a different country.
Yeah, that's like a holiday for me.
It is for you, it's not for me, but it's for Richard.
Yeah, there you go.
He seems to get way more work done actually when I'm not around.
I do.
Sorry, Richard, I'm having to face it towards me a little bit. My stars are sticking together and sticking to me. But can you all see the kind of shape of it starting to... I think it's starting to kind of take shape a little bit. Like I say, I need to do quite a bit more to it. I think it looked nice with some underneath so that you've not got like that flat bit underneath. Also, it might cover up my branches, which my plan was to make all the branches really nice and cover them in chocolate, but actually...
Yeah, it's starting to take shape. You need a lot of...
Yeah, I know. So that's why I thought I won't do all of them. I'll just do enough on here to bulk it so
I'm sure you got 24 hours for lives on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, you'll love it if I go on for 24 hours.
So I can get to sleep. You can just carry on.
You can't go to sleep. Richard will be starving soon because we've not eaten yet tonight. So, am I doing this where people can't even see? And you're just not mentioning that people can't see what I'm doing?
Yeah, you can. I can see.
Did anybody have any other questions for me, Richard? Or for you?
LMAO. You know what that means, don't you? I don't know if I said it.
What? What are you on about?
When we were talking about working together.
Right. What? The laughing?
Yeah.
I thought you meant it was something like really bad.
No, I was going to say, well, it's really, like, if you want to, what we can do is we can film a little bit of this off and just speed it up and then add it into another video. So
well, I think they don't even really need to see this sped up, do they?
No, it's
pretty much the same thing. I'm just struggling to get underneath. Is the bit I'm kind of struggling to kind of get to. You might find the odd one drops off. Again, not the end of the world. There we go. If the odd one or two do drop off. Oh.
The cactus was nice and cool.
So you don't like the bonsai?
Well, I like the cactus, but I don't like the
bonsai, I'll be honest.
Sometimes I like more simple things. I like simple
things. It needs a lot more time on it, I think, the bonsai, for it to make it like much nicer, really. But I think like the effect is getting there, like when we start adding these from a distance. Like I think it would look nice if, or maybe if I hadn't like rushed to get this bit on. So you can see like it's a little bit uneven and all my finger marks and stuff on it. Again, if you're spending a bit more time on stuff, that doesn't happen as much. Where did I put the rest of the green paste? Or was this all the green paste I had left? I'll put that in there and save it. The rest of my tree will probably have different coloured leaves. I didn't even think about that, did I? I mean, I definitely prefer the cactus. I would like to make more than one cactus for, or cacti, is it? For the top of Bowser's Castle, but like we say, it depends what I have time to do now, I guess. I just need to kind of get the castle finished, really.
There you go, you're on camera.
Together. Thanks. But yeah, so that's it.
So that was a...
I actually thought, tonight I'll have loads of time. I might make like, like the watering really cool. can and all sorts. And I completely ran out of time, didn't I, for any of that. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed it.
Wait.
Oh, what? Was I supposed to tell everybody? Was I supposed to tell everybody quite a bit of stuff?
Yeah, I've lost...
Just see what it fits like on the top of my castle.
You can do it.
What have you lost?
The magazine to show what was just gone into our subscription.
It's back in the bookcase over there. I can see it from here. It's the pink one. So the last thing that went in the subscription. I think most of you guys that are in there will already know it's in there, hopefully. But yeah, the pig in the bath, which was a tutorial that I did, both myself and Dawn from Dinky Doodle Cakes. But we actually filmed it. So it's really hard in a magazine to get all the steps in. So obviously there's not like loads and loads missing, but it's very difficult to just get everything in instructions in a magazine. So we filmed the whole process, and that is in subscription now for you guys. And then the other thing that we did in subscription was the eyes. I don't know if I stuck these down, Richard, for actually holding them upright. So we did, you might have to do from above to show people, because look at it.
I've lost the above camera.
You've lost the above camera?
Well, it's because the above camera's there
We
now.
did, oh wait, I'm so bad at doing it. Different eyes. So we did like basic, simple ones. And then we did like more, she's going to lose eyebrows because I didn't stick her eyebrows on. And then we did like more detailed eyes as well. And it was quite popular, that, so I might do some more lives in there with making eyes and features and things like that. I mean, it's whatever people want, really, in there. That is what we'll try and do.
Yeah, that's one good thing with the subscription, because we do let the IBC students can kind of pick themes, and well, we try to let students suggest, don't they? So we're going to make the videos on.
I'm clean my hands now. I'm filthy. But yeah, if you look at the mess I've made. I've got a bit of tidying up to do tonight before we eat. Yeah.
Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions. I've forgotten everything I was going to tell everybody.
I think we're going to show them a bit of the castle. Did something fit on the castle?
Shall I see if this fits in the top?
Right, Bermies, let me just give me 1 second.
I do really need to get that castle finished now. But I am worried that it looks like it's maybe...
I think it's the way you got the icing on it.
Do you?
Yeah, I've tried moving it, it doesn't shift. Right.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, sorry, we're going off.
I can't actually reach up there. But it's got, hang on, I'll show you guys so you can see. Can you see from over there?
Yeah.
He's only got the bottom of his jaw, so I still need to add like the top of his face and stuff will go on here, and then he's got like the dome and everything like that to put on still. So that's on his horns and everything. You won't even be able to see that from there, will you? Is that quite big? Maybe it needs to go on one of these side bits. Wow, it's actually massive, isn't it? It maybe wants to go on this side. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I think I'll make some more, but maybe make them a bit smaller. Saying that I say that, I'll probably run out. Sorry, I was a bit close to the camera there. I'll probably run out of time, won't I? And that'll be it. One giant cactus. You see how when I do miniatures, they always end up too big. So that means they're probably the right size next to Bowser, because he also ended up too big, didn't he? So like, he really is a bit too big for me.
Just funny about that microwave is like our cake decorating microwave. We just move it around when we need it near us.
And you see, like, to get him in there, I think, like he's bigger than the door.
I have to just shake his tail a little bit.
Yeah, he's still bigger than the door. Never mind.
It's alright.
Gives it a bit of colour though, doesn't it, with the cactus and him. I've got to get. Oh, there's not loads, but there's still like a decent amount that I need
lots
to
of
do.
little bits, isn't there?
Yeah, so I'll get on with that in the morning. I won't make you guys watch me do it live tomorrow, but yeah. But yeah, there we go. That's what it's at. That ended up like so much bigger project than I thought it would. Did the Bowser Castle, so yeah. Let me know, do you prefer, for the YouTube videos, do you prefer to see something that's like a bit bigger and more complicated? Or do you prefer like easy stuff that's just easy for you to replicate yourself at home? This is when like, I find it difficult to know which ones, because I'll do something really simple, but sometimes I feel like, oh, it's not impressive enough for people. And then I feel that I have to do something more complicated so that people are a little bit more impressed by it. But then I'm like, oh, but are they actually going to then remake it because it was a bit too complicated or kind of so time consuming? So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and then what you'd like to see for future videos. I'd really like to do something for the He-Man movie. After doing that, I was like, oh, Castle Grayskull. In fact, a few people actually thought I was making Castle Grayskull when I was showing pictures of that. Toy Story, the next Toy Story one, is it out soon?
April time. Is it April time? I think it is.
So I think Sandra wants to do
you know
something
what
from
I
that.
want to do?
What?
Oh, well, you don't watch it. I've been watching, obviously, Daredevil, which is just the new season's on.
Oh, you are on shot.
The new season is, yeah, I would say the new Punisher. So that season, the Punisher's got a new film coming out, or like a special.
Can I just do the logo?
No, but then it's more like real life like that. I don't know, you're not a huge fan of doing
I'm not a
life-like
big fan of
things.
doing lifelike stuff. But then I'll probably film some stuff as well to kind of show what I'm doing for Cake International, which isn't till November, but I have got quite a bit of work to do for that, so I will probably have to start that in the next couple of months, I reckon. Or at least start designing it and planning it all out, ready to go. Although I think a lot of that will probably go into subscription service with behind the scenes of everything I'll be doing, making for that. But yeah, I do need to practice my realistic people for that.
Yeah, I think we'll get a few. We're going to get a few more YouTubes filmed, haven't we? Like some shots.
Yes.
We've got a couple. For anybody that's watched our subscription service, we've got the.
Why don't you get on camera so people can actually see you?
Oh. There is a Smurfs YouTube video coming shortly. So that will be here either next week or the week after, depending on.
I think you put the short in, didn't you already?
Yeah, we've had the short in, and
the behind the scenes ones already.
Yeah, there's a long behind the scenes one in the subscription,
Yeah.
but we've got like a short one. So anyone that's not in the subscription service, there is like a shorter sort of 10-20 minute version coming to the YouTube channel as well, which is quite interesting. Yeah, because the shorts for that have done really well on Instagram and Facebook, which was good. Because he did that a while ago, wasn't it, for when the film came out?
Yeah, it was for the film, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. What I'm just going to say, I'm just looking at the comments. Jane loves The Punisher too. There you go.
I've not really watched it. When are you finding time to watch these programmes?
Yeah, it's only like one episode a week.
You don't have time to watch TV.
Do I not?
No, he gets home from work usually quite late on a night, and then he has to sit and
Says the YouTube
do more
queen.
work, doing editing videos.
You manage to watch YouTube.
And that's when I get time away from him. Whoever asked earlier about working together, and we said we didn't get time away. Yeah, Richard has another job, so on an evening sometimes. So yeah, I get a break away from him then. Right, did we answer everybody's questions, Richard?
Love to learn things with different techniques. Things are great too. Well, so there's that. Jane likes complicated because I learn anything, but anything you do is amazing. I can't comment.
I mean, I guess the thing is, when it's more complicated videos, you don't have to remake necessarily the same thing, but you might learn the odd thing that you can reuse for something else, I guess. Did you find the link to Donald's website for anybody in the US actually that wanted the book?
I did put that in here earlier on.
Okay, cool. He actually does have some of the moulds as well. Some of our moulds, just Donald.
I also popped a link to our subscription service. I was trying to work out what I was talking about then. I was in 98. Heather Riggins 8027. I don't think it matters if it's easy or complex. It's all good, and I'd love to see it all.
Oh, that's good. Well, maybe try and do a mix then. Maybe the next one after the Bowser Castle one, I'll be a fairly quick and easy one, so it doesn't take me like a month to make it. And then we'll try and.
We're going to get a few quick ones. So we've got a little bit of a bank of videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, guys. Sorry if it was a bit of a boring one and didn't quite turn out as I planned, but by the time I've finished, it might look all right, this bonsai tree, and I'll share pictures with you all soon of it finished, and I'll go in the video at some point. Yeah, but okay, we'll say goodbye because I'm really hungry.
I'm starving.
Yeah, okay, we'll go eat. Thank you again, guys. We'll let you know when the next one is.